Evening. So I'm just writing from BC where I just got in. So although I have 10 minutes, if I was in Alberta, I actually have an hour and 10 minutes to post this on Thursday night. It's the last part of the series as discussed, and you can watch that just now. But I have a favor to ask, and we can make it a punishment if you want. What I need to do is get you to do a survey for me. So Harnaik and myself have a video that we'd like to post and or give to you, and then we want you to ask 5 people which of the 2 videos is best and report back with the results so that we can have a fair evaluation. Let me know if you're interested in doing that for us. We'll get you the videos next week, and you would take them to 5 random strangers in the street or in the mall or wherever. Thanks. Now, without further ado, the last piece of this pie. Good night.
Hello. Ready for another segment? So today we're going to talk about my favorite one, and that is being a fool. Now, I know we've seen fools. We've been fools, in fact. In fact, I know you've been a fool, and you know I've been a fool. You know, it's the kind of guy who walks, I don't know, who waits for an elevator, right? Gets in and stands the opposite way. Ever done that? Feels very uncomfortable, and you go, well, they're foolish. And yes, it is uncomfortable to be a fool. But the key to being a fool, not the key to being a fool, the importance of being a fool is to avoid conformity. Conformity and change do not mix, right? And it's the price that we sadly have to pay. Now, conformity helps us because it helps us all cooperate, and that's important. And there are situations when we don't know what to do in a situation. We watch other people do it, and we conform, and it helps us get through life, which is great. But it doesn't do anything for us from a, I guess, progression point of view. For example, there's a story of St. Augustine, and there was a young priest, and the young priest went to St. Augustine and said, listen, Augustine was the priest. Yeah, and he went to Bishop Ambrose, I think, for some advice. Anyways, so Augustine was going to Rome, but that's where they celebrated the Sabbath day on Sunday, and in Milan, they still celebrated it on Saturday. And so Augustine was confused, like, which day should he use as the Sabbath? Because he happened to be from Milan, where it was Saturday, and he was going to Rome, where it was Sunday. And the Bishop Ambrose solved his problem, and he told him something very special. Do you know what it is? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. He told him to conform, because he didn't know what to do. But he wasn't going to change any lives from doing it. And that's where you have the problem with groupthink. Everybody starts to think the same. Everybody stops sharing their information because they're too scared to break conformity. And if we go back to the Middle Ages, this happened all the time in royalty. So the king, he had all his wise people and all his wise guys, you know, they would be yes men. Whatever the king said, they say, yes, that's right, because they don't want to get, you know, because sometimes king's in a bad mood, right? So the king identified somebody who is often known as the joker, or to play the fool. Now the fool was very lucky, because he could say whatever he wants, and because he's a fool, he didn't have to worry about repercussions of the king. And it was the fool's job, and this is real, it wasn't to just entertain him and do juggling and crap like that. He was there to help them see a different point of view, to say something different so that the king wouldn't always just have yes men, so that he would have a different point of opinion. And that was the fool's job. So sometimes we have to be okay being foolish and not being critical, because the fool has a role, and it is to break that group think. Now, not that conformity is bad, conformity is okay, but sometimes we have to be foolish, because foolish will help us understand the importance of change, how to do it better, and how to look for, you're right, the second right answer.
Okay, this is literally hurting my brain. How does a black hole hit a planet? I don't get it. I think you tried to explain it, but I don't get it. It doesn't move. It's stationary. How does it cause an earthquake? It makes no sense to me. Okay, I checked out Mo's depth. I would vote for him. He's exciting. He's interesting. I like his movies. It's good. Now, of course, they had Wyclef version and somebody else. You know, great little campaigns. Wyclef was definitely the best. Thanks for passing on. That gave me a good chuckle tonight. Anyways, good night. Adieu. Oh, and I read about the penny. That kind of sucks. I like the penny. All of a sudden, I'm feeling sad for the penny. When before, probably about an hour ago, I was like, these pennies are stupid. But now, it's a piece of my life, man. They're retiring it. It's wrong. No one asked me. Good night.